Hello, my name is Mike Talty and I work for Microsoft in the UK. And this is just a short video, a recent trip down to Microsoft Research in Cambridge, which is hosting the NxtGen User Group's Fest '09 conference. So we're at the Roger Needham building. This is the home of Microsoft Research in Cambridge. And if we just pop ourselves inside, then obviously here we are at Microsoft, but we're also on a day for the NxtGen User Group. The NxtGen guys have got some fancy new advertising banners outside. One of their themes always of NxtGen is about swag and giving out lots of swag. So they've got lots of banners here advertising it came from the swag cupboard. There's also a theme of pizza for after each event that they run. And again, back to that swag theme. People are filing in and starting to line up for the conference today. And the conference was introduced by Richard Kostel and John Price, who are two of the founders of the NxtGen User Group. And the guys kicked the thing off to a kind of fun start. The whole atmosphere for this day is really relaxed and kind of fun. It's not meant to be taken too seriously, I don't think. And the guys kicked off by showing us some new swag that they've created themselves. So Richard's here modeling a NxtGen mouse created. And then I think he also models his NxtGen mug, so they've created a new mug that they can give away at user groups and so on. And taking that a step further, the NxtGen User Group car sticker. As far as I know, there is only one of these in existence today on one car in the country, but if you're feeling brave and you're a member of this user group, you might get one of those things created. Next up was a little bit of prize giving. The guys give out prizes at this annual event for the best sessions that have been delivered at their user group meetings and the best event, the best overall user group meeting itself. This is Professor Chris Bishop, you might recognise from the Royal Institute Christmas lectures on the BBC last year, giving out the prizes to people who had delivered the best sessions at the user group meetings. They do two kinds of sessions. They have what they call nuggets, which are sort of 10-minute sessions for people to just get up and do a quick demo. And then they have full sessions that last longer than that. And so this is Chris Bishop handing out prizes to one of the very lucky recipients of those things. And this is the table for the best event, which looks like Southampton won. I was also lucky enough to pick up a few of these cups myself. I've been to some of these user groups and done some talks. And then we hand it over to Professor Chris Bishop.
Okay, thanks everyone. Good morning. And let me also say welcome to my home turf, which is Microsoft Research Cambridge. I'm the Chief Research Scientist here. As I guess you all know now, I do also, as well as some research in the field of machine intelligence, which is today's talk, I also do outreach to young people, because I think it's incredibly important that we get more young people interested in programming and in software and in computer science.
Chris gave an excellent talk for around 30 minutes, taking us through a high-level view of third-generation machine intelligence. This is really combining the sort of statistical approach you see with expert systems in first generation with the convergent approach that you see in sort of neural networks and those kinds of things in the second generation. And he illustrated this with a whole bunch of examples around things like chess games, as you can see on the screen here, and also around some very fast converging algorithms that are used presently online for things like analysis of gamer skills with online games like Halo. And so these are just snippets from Chris's talk, but you can see the sorts of things that he was talking about, convergence algorithms. After this, I managed to catch up with Richard Kostel, who's one of the founders of the NxtGen User Group. All right, so I'm here at Microsoft Cambridge with Richard Kostel. Richard, do you want to say who you are, which group you're from, and what you're doing here?
So, I'm Richard Kostel, and I've got a daytime job, but one of my hobbies is running the Next Generation User Group. I'm one of the co-founders. We've got 7 regions, and we're here at Microsoft Cambridge, the Research Centre, and we've got Fest '09.
And so Fest '09 is your annual festival, is that right?
It's our annual festival. We don't like to call it a conference because conference sounds very formal. Fest sounds like a fun carnival kind of atmosphere, which is very much what NxtGen is all about.
And so NxtGen, how long has that user group been running now in the UK?
So NxtGen's been running just over 3 years. We originally started with Coventry and Birmingham regions, and we've since been joined by Oxford, Southampton, Cambridge, and recently Hereford and Manchester.
So what's that, 7 or 8 regions?
7 regions now.
And how many members across those 7 regions?
We've got NxtGen is run on a not-for-profit basis, so for paid-up members we're looking at about 290 at the minute, of which on the database we've got a couple of thousand registrations on the database of just people who are interested in the NxtGen way.
And so the NxtGen user group, is it always about sort of developer technologies, or do you do some other things at those groups?
We cover a whole spectrum of stuff. We'll have Xbox sessions, we'll have design sessions, because developers like to do design things, or think they like design things. But then we'll also cover C#, Vista, Windows 7, Silverlight. We cover the whole spectrum, and we'll even go off and have a session on Ruby or something, so people can get an appreciation of other technologies as well.
And is each of those groups sort of meeting up every month or bi-monthly or something like that?
Yeah, every group, one of the mantras of NxtGen is you have a meeting every single month of the year. Whether that's just you and your dog turn up, the dog probably has to do a nugget, but there's two of you there, you still have a meeting, which is it's all about consistency, really.
And so you've really gone from nowhere over a 3-year period. You've got 7 groups. Have you got any idea of how many sessions you've put on at those groups across the country over that time?
Yeah, I think we've had around 180 meetings, actual physical meetings,
wow.
Of which we've had 370 something presentations, because each meeting will generally comprise of a full session and a 10-minute nugget done by a member or an attendee.
And so what about being here today at MSR? Who've you got here speaking at the Fest today down at MSR?
Our headline speaker is John Price doing Swaggleship's game show. No, our headline speaker was Professor Chris Bishop, who did all the Christmas lectures on TV over Christmas, and he did our half-an-hour keynote. We've also got Dennis Cruz, security chap, and quite a few people just doing sessions, including Mike Talty, the man himself, and our award-winning speaker who's cleaned up with some trophies today, because we give out trophies in our mini keynote to recognise the speakers who help NxtGen, because without it we couldn't do it. We couldn't have a user group.
Yeah, so I mean it's a sort of action-packed day of some stuff around .NET and developer things, but then also with Chris Bishop's talk, things more generally about computer science and that kind of stuff in the industry.
Stimulating stuff as well that you wouldn't always get at a user group or at a conference.
And so how do you take this forward? Are you going for global domination?
World domination is phase 2 of a 5-phase.
Is there a 5-year plan?
We don't know. It all started off on a curved journey about 3.5 years ago that Dave, John and I said, let's do our own thing, have control of our own user group, run it the way we want to do it, and we're here now. Microsoft Research, and we just don't know which direction it goes in. As long as we just have fun, that's the main thing.
All right, thanks Rich.
Cheers, mate.